Hello, and welcome to this video where I will be talking about the Dallas Cowboys. My favorite team in the NFL and America's team, you know how it is. Going over this video, we're going to be going over 3 games. I'm going to be starting with the Jaguars game, moving on to the Titans game, and then finally we'll be talking about the Eagles game before we get on to some final words before Week 18 and the playoffs. So, the most frustrating, the most embarrassing game I've watched in a while, at least in my memory. I'm sure last year there was a more embarrassing game, but what happened in the Jaguars game? Well, we go into the half. First half of the game going pretty well. There are mistakes here and there, but we've got a pretty commanding lead. Game looks to be in our hands, and things are going well. But then we come out of the half, and the defense starts to bend a little bit. But that classic bend don't break. They hold them to a field goal, I believe. And then we decide that we're gonna start doing some conservative play calling. The classic, the best way to win a football game in the year 2022, or technically 2023 now, is to go conservative. We all know that prevent defenses and conservative offenses are the best way to score points and prevent the other team from scoring. Well, our offense goes conservative, gives the ball back to the Zebalonquays, as I call them. And our defense, lo and behold, forces turnovers, as it has been doing all year, and gives the ball back to the offense on a short field after giving us the chance to, I don't know, I think we could have put the game away there. But our offense decides that, a 3 and out is good enough. We don't need to score anything more than 3 points off of a turnover. Luckily, we were in field goal range right off the turnover, otherwise we would have gotten 0. And after that, our defense has to come out and return to the field about 3 times in 3 minutes. Now, there was 3 times in, let's say 6 minutes of game time. No, it was 3 minutes. It was 3 minutes now that I'm remembering. They eventually, the defense is going to break eventually when you put them back on the field like that. And the Zebalonquays bring it within 3 points before our offense finally decides to go on a long drive. Kind of at an inopportune time, in my opinion, because we finally score with 3 minutes left. That's a lot of time for someone like the Prince to be promised to drive his way downfield and score a TD. But, again, our defense does what it's been doing all year and last year and gets another turnover, giving the ball back to our offense. And then our offense can't decide, finally, whether it wants to be conservative or if it wants to try and go for a big play. So what we do is we come out, we run the ball once for, I believe, no gain. We run the ball again for, I believe, to be maybe 1 or 2 yards. We might have lost yards in one of these rushes, but then eventually we go for a deep pass on 3rd and long. With like a minute something left in the game. Like a minute and 40 seconds left in the game. Our offense only kills 8 seconds. 8 seconds our offense kills off the clock. Like, that's ridiculous. That's just fucking. So then, the Zibalonques will themselves downfield into field goal range, kick a field goal, send us into OT. They start off with the ball, and I'm starting to feel like that's the end of this. But then our defense gets a stop. Another stop. With all the complaining after this game that people did about the defense was not the reason we lost this game. It was not. Dak turnovers, offensive mistakes, and then our guy who's been solid for us for plenty of years now in Noah Brown makes a huge blunder, pops the ball up in the middle of the field, and allows an OT pick 6 to seal the game in the favor of the Zibalonques, sending us home crying. I feel like Dak just finds a way to lose games. Maybe this is my bias. I don't think Dak can take us to a Super Bowl. But it just seems like even with that game, his statistics were good. Technically, except for the turnovers. But then we still lose the game. What else? Based on that game, I've come to the conclusion that Mike McCarthy has to go. Yes, he's since then had us beat the Titans and Eagles, but this is the type of shit that keeps happening and can't keep happening. And he is the head coach, and while I think there are other people partially responsible, the buck stops with him. And maybe even Kellen has to go. Now, I'm not saying I think Kellen Moore needs to disappear from the NFL. I would be happy if he got a head coaching job. I'd be ecstatic for him. But there's just something about Kellen where in tight games, in certain situations, he just does not seem to be able to come up with the answer. I don't know. He just can't come up with the answers. So, hopefully he'll adapt. We'll see what happens. But I don't know. I think Kellen might have to go. Well, that's all for the Jaguars game. You know what? Yeah, yeah. I'm utterly embarrassed by this being on our resume. It gives me cause for concern for the playoffs, and I am very worried about our team, but you know, we'll see what happens. I'm wondering. You know what? I know I said at the beginning of this video I was gonna cut this up into or I was gonna do all 3 games, but this has gone kind of long, so stay tuned for 2 other videos that will be coming out pretty soon about the Cowboys versus Titans game and the Cowboys versus Eagles game. And then in the Eagles game, I'll probably be giving my final words on what I think of the season, and maybe we'll get a video out before the playoffs about Week 18, but I have a feeling it's going to be pretty inconsequential, so we'll see. Alright, and you know, guys, remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.